It's been a really long time and I feel really weird making a video right now, but I have been like putting this off. I've recorded this 3 different times and it's halfway through nap time and I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna do it because I'm starting to feel a little bit like myself again and I want to start posting videos, but I didn't want to just post and not give y'all like an update. If you follow me on Instagram, you've probably seen my updates about everything, but if you haven't, I have been struggling with recurrent miscarriage, recurrent pregnancy loss, and I am pregnant again, praise the Lord. So maybe if you're watching this, you've seen that on Instagram. But before I started just posting again, I wanted to give y'all where I've been the last 9 months, not 9 months, I'm not sure how long it's been. I've posted random videos, I feel like here and there, but nothing that's been like our true day-to-day life. And it's crazy, Wilson turns 2 tomorrow and I haven't, like, he's just so different now. So I want to start documenting again because I truly love it. I don't feel like I necessarily need to like give y'all an explanation, but I wanted to for the people that have been here supporting me on YouTube. Maybe you don't follow me on Instagram, so you don't know all the lovely details. But yeah, I'm just gonna give a rundown of our journey with recurrent miscarriage and why I've been absent. So in November, I miscarried at 10 weeks and that was absolutely terrible. It was like November 8th and it was like all the holidays and I just was, oof, that was so rough. Like that was the worst time in my life, truly. But, well, I guess months followed, like literally it was like 7 months from November to June. And even now it's really hard, but those were like, I have never been more sad in my life, not depressed, but just so sad where I'm like doing the bare minimum to function kind of. Yeah. So anyway, after I miscarried in November, it was all the holidays and I was just like, you know, I'll be pregnant again by December, like it's fine. Just because I thankfully, and I say this with a grateful heart, I get pregnant decently quick, but my problem has been keeping the pregnancy recently. So when I was like, as soon as I ovulate, I'll get pregnant again and it'll be fine. Like I just felt that very strongly. And I was holding on to that hope, which I think was good in that moment, but also just very disappointing when that didn't happen, or it did, but not in a healthy pregnancy way. So yeah, so I finally got my period back in December, kind of. Actually, I don't know if I did. I don't think I ovulated that month because I had 2 periods. Like I stopped bleeding from my miscarriage and then I bled again for a week and then I stopped for like a couple days and then I bled again for another week. So I had like 2 periods or just miscarriage bleeding. I'm not totally sure, but in January I did get my real cycle. I ovulated and then in February I got a positive pregnancy test and then a week later I had started my period, whatever you want to call that. It was a chemical pregnancy. So my tests were positive for a week. I tested like 3 different times because at that point I wasn't really tracking like the progression of the line, which if you're trying to conceive, or not necessarily even trying to conceive, but like had a miscarriage or anxious about losing a baby, you probably done line progression testing. That's a new thing that I never had done before with my other pregnancies with Wilson, my son, and then the pregnancy that I lost at 10 weeks. I took like 1 test and was like, I'm pregnant. And then I think I tested like 1 other time, like 2 weeks later to be like, am I still pregnant? And obviously I still was. But anyway, so I didn't really see a line progression every time I took a test, but I didn't really think much about it. That was in February. So it was a week that I had positives and then I started my period. I took a pregnancy test that day to see if like maybe it was just like weird bleeding, but the line was so faint that I was like, okay, this pregnancy is not staying. So that was in February. And then I didn't get pregnant in March, but then in April I did get another positive pregnancy test, exact same thing. I had it for 6 days and then I got my period. My cycles were 31 days both times, like did not mess my cycle up at all, which in a sense is good because I just kept praying like if it's not going to be a healthy pregnancy, like I don't want to have to go through, you know, 10 more weeks and then miscarry like I did with the pregnancy in November. So obviously I wasn't thankful that I didn't keep those pregnancies, but I just, yeah. So that's kind of where I was at. So it happened every other month that I got a positive test, or not, I guess every other month, but I got a lot of positive tests in there and it was heartbreaking every single time. Getting negatives also is heartbreaking. I want to say that if you're trying to conceive and you're not getting pregnant, like getting negative tests are very heartbreaking. I mean, it's just trying to conceive in general is really hard. And I've had one side of it where with my son it was really easy and it was a one-time thing and it was a beautiful pregnancy and a beautiful birth and he's perfect. And I'm so thankful for that, but that was not my next experience. Try not to cry in this video because I've just like haven't revisited a lot of these things in a while because I really tried to like block it off. But that's why I haven't posted, because most of the days it's taken me everything to take care of my son, be a good mom, which I feel like I've been failing at, and then taking care of my home, being a wife. But I did lean into my faith so much during this time, and I want to make a whole video about that. If you are a believer and are questioning and confused why a God that is good would allow these things to happen, which is, we're never gonna know everything. God is way too big, and I just don't even know how I would understand everything about him and everything, how the world works. But I want to make a video about that if that is something that resonates with you and that you struggle with, or that you just need encouragement in. So I'm working on that. Okay, now I should talk about testing, like recurrent miscarriage panel and all of those tests that I did and things that I changed to help my body maybe be able to conceive and keep a pregnancy. I guess just keep a pregnancy, since my problem wasn't conceiving. So I did freak out after the second pregnancy loss. I called my doctor, was like, okay, what can I do? And he kind of was not gonna do any testing. He was gonna send me straight to the fertility clinic. So then I was like, okay, I'll just wait. Like, I trust you, like it's one of those things. And then when it happened a third time, I called them, told them that I was pregnant actually, and then I went and got my HCG drawn. Oh, I didn't even say that. For my third loss in April, I had called them and got blood work done like right away at like 14 days past ovulation, and my HCG was out at 12. So they called me and they're like, yeah, you're pregnant, but it's really low, but you might just be really early. I'm like, I am like 4 weeks. Like, my HCG should be a lot higher than that. So I knew at that point that I was not gonna have a healthy pregnancy, and I knew my period was gonna come, or whatever, miscarriage, whatever you want to call it. It's kind of, chemical pregnancies are really weird. They are 100% a pregnancy loss. But yeah, I don't really know what to call that. I guess it's miscarriage bleeding. I called them and told them that I had lost the pregnancy, and I was like, okay, so what kind of testing should I do? I was talking to the nurse, and she said, well, actually that's something that like the fertility clinic would do. And I was like, to do basic blood work? Like, so I was like, okay. So I actually called, made a fertility specialist appointment with like the Seattle Reproductive Medicine, like really like IVF, IUI, like that type of stuff, that clinic. And they I got an appointment like actually like a week later, which was really great. And it was a Zoom meeting, and it was just a consultation for what I need to do. And it literally was just like a full fertility workup panel. And she wanted me to do like a karyotype test, which is genetic testing. It was like $800 per partner, both have to do it. And then an HSG, which is when they put dye in your fallopian tubes and in your uterus. But she was like, that's probably not really the problem because you are getting pregnant. But they would see like scar tissue or polyps, which could be a thing, especially if I had endometriosis. Maybe they would have been able to see that, which I still feel like I might have, but I don't know. And yeah, and then all of this blood work. So I was like, okay, my husband was like, we're not doing that. I'm like, yeah, I agree. I want to do blood work. I don't really want to do other stuff. So I called around to a few different doctors, found an OB that would do my blood work, and he was nice. He did an ultrasound for me to see if there was like any growths or anything like that. And we just like the basic bare minimum. Everything was semi-normal. Also, I forgot to say this, I did do the modern fertility test right after my first loss, and actually my thyroid was at a 4, and when you're trying to conceive it should be like below a 2. So that was like the only thing that has been off on any of my testing. And so I'm on really low dose, like 25 mgs, I don't even know, like the smallest dose it can be on of levothyroxine. And when I got retested, my levels were back at a 2. So a lot of things I changed right after my first miscarriage. I stopped breastfeeding in December, I think was like the or end of November, December was like the last times that I was breastfeeding, which was sad, but also like we were both ready for that. And then I needed to gain weight. I had never been smaller than when I had miscarried. I was extremely low weight, and I don't know. So I started eating a lot more than I was, tried to eat like whole foods, healthy foods, just like trying to give my body all the nutrients. Like I wasn't just eating random stuff. I was like trying to be really healthy and gain weight, because I wasn't really eating 3 meals a day. I wasn't eating enough, truly, and especially with breastfeeding. But I just lost my appetite after I had Wilson, and I'm sure there's a name for that, where I don't know. But yeah, so I did that, and I did gain weight, got back to my pre-pregnancy weight. And then I also, that was like right before I got pregnant in June. I was like back at my pre-pregnancy weight. And then something else that I did was I got progesterone, and my doctor, my OB, would only give me 100 milligrams like oral. But I had done research, and I was like, no, I need suppositories. I need 200 milligrams. Because also, I forgot to mention this again, my progesterone was really low. Not really low. It was at a 12 with my miscarriage in November. So they told me I should be on progesterone. So I was with that pregnancy, and that didn't help it. And it's really 50-50 whether progesterone would save a pregnancy. But as a precaution, again, with the thyroid medication, I was taking progesterone, and I have been until like 15 weeks. Also, I haven't been posting because I have been sick since 6 weeks pregnant. Most days I'm like barely functioning. For a while it was really bad, and now it's a little bit better, but I still feel like I could throw up like any second, so that hasn't been fun. But this is so rambly. I feel like just chatting with a friend, trying to get all the information out that has happened in the last 8 months, 9 months. I don't even know. I can't keep up anymore. But yeah, I feel like that's kind of everything that has happened, or that pertains to recurrent miscarriage and being pregnant again. So it's just been so hard, because I really have felt like not myself. Like truly, just I got really sad yesterday, because I was just looking at pictures of when I was pregnant with Wilson, and then when I was like till he was pretty much till November when I miscarried. I just had never ever been happier in my entire life. Like truly had never had that kind of happiness before. And then just to still have that, but then like have something literally break my heart, like losing a baby, and then again and again, just truly like tested me and broke me in a lot of ways. And I just was so sad looking at pictures, thinking about how happy I was. And like I feel like the last 9 months of my time with Wilson has been like taken a lot of ways, because I just have felt like half the mom that I want to be. So it's been really hard, and yeah, like I'm so thankful that I have him, because in a lot of ways it's made it easier. So if you are going through the journey and you're wanting and hoping for a baby, I'm praying for you still, and just I don't know, it's just so hard. So now I'm rambling on again, but I just want to say thank you guys for being here, and I'm hoping that I just am able to still feel good, because I feel okay, even though I feel like I could throw up at any second. Truly, I've been way more sick this time than I was with my son, which sucks. But yeah, I'm finally feeling like motivated to start making videos again. Yeah, so hopefully y'all will be here to watch and enjoy. I'll show you my bump, which I'm excited. I should do a first trimester update. I'm big. This is like the size I was when I was 20 weeks pregnant with my son, and I'm only 15 weeks. So I'm huge, but that's okay. I'm so happy. But anyway, thank y'all for listening to me ramble, and feel free to message me on Instagram or comment, because I really like talking with y'all that are on this same journey and just struggling in ways, or having joy in this pregnancy, if you're having joy in a new pregnancy after loss, because it's really, really hard. It does not feel the same at all as being pregnant without having loss. It sucks, truly. It's like so much joy and fear at the same time. So yeah, and I'm so thankful that I got to experience my pregnancy with Wilson feeling just like joy. And yeah, so anyway, if your friends have walked through this, love on them, know that it's like the most heartbreaking thing, and give those people extra love because it's hard. So anyway, I'm rambling on, but I will hopefully see y'all really soon. I don't think my next video will be a first trimester update. I might try to film it right now and give y'all a happy update. So I will see y'all in the next one.